If you're in Las Vegas or coming to Sin City this weekend, you got to see the best amateur MMA event in town at Planet Hollywood this Friday. MMA Explosion 5. Tickets start at just $25. It's MMA Explosion. 474-1400 for tickets. This Friday, Las Vegas, Planet Hollywood, 474-1400.
What about Michigan with its location by Ontario? You think you get a lot of Canadian fans?
Yeah, we've been talking about Michigan too. Obviously, you go to Detroit, the car business has been hurt so bad there.
I'm from Michigan.
Yeah, it's the other thing we're trying to do is trying to figure this whole economic thing out and how to maneuver around this thing and figuring out ticket prices and everything. You know, things have been good for us so far still, but we're still very sensitive to the economy.
I noticed your top tier prices for this show were a little lower than they were the last two times you've been here, so that's a strategic effort on your part.
Well, you have to. I mean, you know, we made that decision last year before even going into this year. We didn't just all of a sudden, holy shit, we got a lower you know, you have to be sensitive to what's happening in the world right now. And like I said, we've been very fortunate, but we're tiptoeing around this thing and, you know, trying to figure it out. At the end of the day, you know, my philosophy and my big fucking thing is not to gouge the fans in any way. You know, if you don't think that we have a CFO and fucking aggressive guys in the company that want to raise pay-per-view and do all this shit, I won't do it. I will not, and I'll fucking go on record right now and say I will not raise pay-per-view. I won't do it. You know, it's one of my things that I hated.
When's the last time you raised it?
Probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
From 39 to 44.
Yeah. And I won't raise it again. Every pay-per-view we've done, including Franklin and Henderson from Ireland, have been great pay-per-views. The pay-per-views have been very good to us, and we think that it's the economy, and the UFC is a cheap night at home. You know, it's a really cheap night of entertainment. Like I said, everybody gets together. It's called the cluster, and it's easy to kick in a few bucks for pizza, beer, and a pay-per-view.
Last thing I wanted to ask you about Las Vegas. You know, I wrote this a year ago in boxing that there was going to be less major fights. It seems like Las Vegas is fading as a market. You know, you can hear some of the fighters talk that, you know, they're not as crazy about fighting in Las Vegas. That's your home base. I mean, yeah.
See, I think everybody. I think Vegas is going to continue to be a big spot for us. The bottom line is, you know, when we come into these other markets like Columbus, Ohio, there's a lot of people here this weekend. It's great. When we go into a new market that the UFC's never been to, it's great. Montreal, you know, you get Canadians are just such huge fans. It's a huge event. When we do fucking Toronto, it's going to be, I think Toronto's probably going to be the sickest event we probably ever do, okay? But at the end of the day, Vegas is the fight capital of the world. Everybody doesn't mind taking a trip to Vegas to go there for the weekend.
Yeah, even by your own admission, I think when you said in Ireland, you said that, what was it, Montreal, Dublin, and what was the other one? Was it
here?
Yeah. So you were talking about them being the best cards, and you never seem to have that energy and that kind of in Vegas anymore. That, like, you know,
BJ Penn St. Pierre.
You know, that was a good one. But I mean, I've been to some of the other events that, you know, really the crowd.
St. Pierre Penn was insane.
Yeah.
At the first prelim, they were chanting BJ, GSP at the first prelim. That was probably one of the sickest Vegas fights ever. But no, Vegas is the fight capital of the world. It always will be, no matter what, no matter where this thing goes. Or, you know, you go into new markets and people are excited. I said about Dublin, pound for pound, greatest crowd we've ever had. There were only like 9,500 people there. It sounded like there were 22,000, and they were from the first prelim to the last fight. But, you know, everybody wants to go to Vegas. Sure. You have a fight in Vegas, nobody's bitching about, you know, we got to go to Columbus, it's kind of cold, there's not much to do, this and that. They don't have that feeling about Vegas. Fuck that. We'll fly in on a Friday night, we got some things to do then, we can gamble, we can do this, we can go out to the clubs. There's just a lot of stuff to do, and nobody is bitching about going to Vegas.
And now with the Hard Rock opening that arena up, whatever it is that something that you're looking at? Or are you exclusive to the Palms now? Can you do like a tough show there?
George Maloof has been very good to us, and I'm very loyal to the Palms. So
even though the venue is, what, 800 compared to, what is it going to be, 4,000 or 5,000 over there?
It's not about the money to me. George Maloof's been good to us. I'm loyal to George.